Hello there, and welcome to episode 1 of the Tatooine Talk, where we talk all things Star Wars. I'm Kevin, and with me are my co-hosts Liam,
Hey.
Schiff,
Yo.
and Toby.
Up.
Alright, so we're gonna talk about the Book
I
of
don't
Boba
like
Fett.
that intro, I'll be honest.
Toby, if
I
you
don't
were
like that
here,
intro.
you could have critiqued it when we went over it.
Man, that was so bad.
It's
That was so
terrible, man.
bad.
It's
I was,
terrible.
I was
Chip is
Also, I don't like.
water,
It's like.
dude, he had.
I was struggling to keep my composure.
Alright, ready?
Alright,
3.
countdown.
Yeah,
Two,
countdown. Yeah,
one.
countdown. When you do.
Welcome to episode 1 of Tatooine Talk. With me are my Shit, I already fucked up by saying Kevin. I'm trying to change it while I'm talking. I'm still reading
Welcome
the same
to
thing.
episode 1. Wait, ready? Welcome to episode 1 of Tatooine Talks. Very excited to be here today. My friends,
No.
Kevin.
Boo.
Oh, we're so judgmental. Oh my god.
Chip, do you want to do
Honestly,
it?
I think this should be in the podcast.
We already do have our
To
mess
give
up
some
one
personality.
early. But yeah, we can do this too.
I think all of this should be.
You know what? Yeah,
Little
screw it. This
bloopers.
is hey, welcome to Tatooine Talks, episode 1. I'm Kevin. Schiff, talk.
Hello.
Liam
Eh.
and Toby.
Hi.
All right, that was better. Now
That was much
we're
better. This is
right.
what we are. You know, we're
this
just
is
a
what we
casual
are. Let's
talk
just
show.
be real.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about the episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, which was last week, and then also just some news beforehand that happened this week about Star Wars.
Excited.
So first off, I have Kenobi was reported to potentially release May 4th. There was a guy that a potential release date he posted. Fuck, I'm like fucking this up. I'm not reading this correctly.
May the 4th be with us. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, so Kenobi was
Oh,
reportedly leaked to release potentially on May 4th. It was just reported in May, but people just speculate that it's on May 4th. But yeah, so I guess we should just talk about like
Brandon
our
San Giovanni.
yeah he
Potential
tweeted
release
it
date
on
May
accident. He
4th.
very quickly deleted it. But yeah, he said,
Oh,
our
you
very
gotta
own
love it when they
Obi-Wan.
quickly delete it.
Is
That's
That's
when
like
you
the
know it's
most-
real.
Exactly. That's the
Yeah.
most confirmational. That's not a word.
Is it ever
Yeah.
tweeted accidentally though? Is it?
I think
That is
so.
a great question too.
In when Hayden Christensen was announced for Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson, who plays her, like very quickly posted like "Welcome to the family, Sky Guy" or whatever, and then deleted it immediately. So I think some things people think that it's
I
real
feel
and it's
it's
confirmed, but
marketing,
it's
man.
not yet.
it's all
It
marketing.
could be. Leaking is like a legitimate form of marketing to get people talking, but
It really is.
That's what I'm saying. Is like what they organize a whole post just to accidentally click post. Like you have to have some intention. You
well,
can't
no,
just
I don't think the
act-
clicking post is. I think making the post is accidental. Like they think that it's
Yeah.
confirmed or they
The
think they
idea
can
that
say
it
it,
is,
but it's
yeah.
not. And yeah, there's just stuff like that. But yeah, I think it'd be awesome if it came out May 4th because we had Bad Batch came out the 4th. I think Clone Wars season 7
Forgot
premiered
about
the
that.
4th, or the finale I think premiered the 4th.
I mean, it's May the 4th. It's the perfect time.
The 4th, and it'd be a good thing. I mean, do you think that's like your most anticipated Disney Plus show?
That probably has been my most anticipated.
Yeah,
Disney Plus
ever since
show
they announced it.
since
That's
they announced
always
Disney.
it's always the movie that I wanted them to make, like because they announced spin-off movies.
Right.
That's always the one I wanted. But yeah, the show.
I remember at
exciting.
first I was I think did this get announced before Mandalorian? I forget. Just so my timeline is
Obi-Wan?
correct.
No, I don't
Like,
think it was
leaked,
before
rumored.
Mandalorian. I think
Okay,
it's
I don't know.
been rumored.
I remember at first being upset that it was a show and not a
Mm.
movie, but thinking about how the fact that we're basically gonna get a 6-hour movie instead of like a 2-hour movie, like that, it's just like way better. And these shows
Yeah.
have been pretty phenomenal as well. So
What do you think is gonna be shown? Like what kind of age is Kenobi inside?
it's
I
gonna be
think
everything.
he's 5 years
They're gonna have
later.
everything.
I think it's 5 years later. The bulk of it's supposed to
Yeah,
take from Revenge of the Sith.
Flashbacks though.
And there's
Flashbacks.
might be like Clone Wars flashbacks and whatever, which would be really cool to see.
Honestly, since they already showed a Order 66 flashback in Book of Boba Fett where it really had like no business even being there, if they don't show flashbacks, I'm gonna be a little bit upset.
That's true.
That's very true.
Even though I mean
someone,
maybe no you go.
someone was fan casting the girl from Spider-Man: Homecoming as young Ahsoka.
Yeah, I have seen that. That's dead on. I think
Wait,
that
who
really.
is
I
it?
think
Who is it?
That's solid.
the girl, Vulture's daughter from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh my God!
She
Yes.
She
That
does
would
look
be
like it.
sick. Although a little bit tall. I feel like a little bit tall. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
fair.
you could.
Yes.
She could slouch. I don't know. Could work.
Well, also, they're both pretty tall too, so by contrast, they'd be fine.
Yeah, it's true. Hayden Christensen. I mean, as someone, and Liam knows this too, who has met Hayden Christensen, he's like
I'd love to
6'1". Like, he's like pretty tall.
Have
Way
I?
taller than I thought he was.
No,
Well, he hates you.
Go ahead and
But
explain that if you'd like.
yeah, so we went to Comic-Con to take pictures with Hayden Christensen. You were not supposed to have your phone out or taking any like of your own individual pictures while he's around. So, but he tried. Liam was like trying to take a picture, and Hayden Christensen himself is the one that pointed him out to everyone, to the workers, to everything. He was very nice to me, however, and I think that's the important part.
It's
So
fine. He killed children, so.
that's true.
Yeah.
And
Liam
I'm
really went
jealous.
from loving him to hating him real quick after that.
Mm. I was never
Got
particularly a big Obi-Wan or Anakin guy. I don't know why.
Well, always had that feeling.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's feeling a little biased now.
It is feeling a bit
Yeah.
biased now.
I don't know. I was younger. I never really quite, understood the Anakin hype.
Might have been the jealousy because he was Natalie Portman.
Fair.
That's my experience with him. But yeah. Anyway, so there's going to be like a Last Days of Tatooine Kenobi comic book run. There also releases in May, so I don't know if it would be like before or after or during the show. But yeah, it's going to be, apparently there's going to be like flashbacks about the Clone Wars and that, to being a Padawan, and just, like while he like is reminiscing on Tatooine, and I think that sounds cool. I've read
I
the
think that
Kenobi
sounds
comics
really
and they're
cool
great.
too. Have there been? Yeah, I was gonna say, have there been like many? Is that like a run that's been going on for a while? Or
No,
is
this will
like
be a new run, but they do have things. It's in the mainline Star Wars comics. Like Luke finds old Ben's old journal in his house, and he reads through them. And while he reads them, they just like the whole comic is just about the story. So there's like a few.
Oh, that's.
There's a collection of that you can buy. It's just like called like From the Journey, from the Tales of Obi-Wan or whatever. And it's
Did-
what?
Did Luke ever know that his name was Obi-Wan?
Yeah, he learned it
that's
because
only-
Leia said Obi-Wan Kenobi. In
Do you
the
mean like
hologram.
But
before though?
he always called her Ben though, or he always called him Ben. Like
Well, 'cause I
even
think
after that,
he always knew
even
him just
after the
as Ben.
hologram. I guess that's true.
So it'd be weird.
Yeah,
for
like
him
when he was
call
talking
him.
to like his uncle and it was like that, like when they like mentioned him at one point, he was like referred to him as like, what did they say? They didn't call him Obi-Wan, they called him
Crazy old
Ben.
man or something.
They called him Crazy Old Man,
Crazy
yeah, but
Old
they
Man.
they
Yeah, they called
call
him
they
Crazy
all
Old Man,
call him
but-
Ben.
Yeah.
Now, he found out because when Luke was like, she's looking for a guy named Obi-Wan or whatever, and he's like, oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah.
And he says it was him, so he does know, but I think he just like
Is his
calls him
name Ben or did he just change it to Ben?
He changed it to Ben. He changed it to Ben in like a Clone Wars episode 2, or not, he doesn't change it, but he uses it as like a code name. I don't know why Ben. It's kind of specific,
Interesting.
but yeah. Also, I was reading.
It's like Shang-Chi when he changed the name from Shang
Yeah, to
Sean.
Sean, yeah. Not that stealthy, but also when I was reading I think I was reading like a Kang the Conqueror comic book or whatever, I saw an advertisement for a Han Solo and Chewbacca run that's coming in March about. It seems to imply it's about the, like whatever mission happened to get Han Solo's bounty, which I think that's also cool. I always thought that would be in Solo when Solo was announced. I just thought that would be one of the things that they had, but I guess not. So yeah, that's the comic books. There's gonna be new Lego Star Wars gameplay on the 19th of
Oh
February.
yeah.
Which that's really, I think they might do like a deep dive into like everything,
Oh,
which is sick.
about
But
time, man. It is
hate
about
to-
time.
give this a negative mindset, but it's been like all but confirmed that there's not going to be online co-op,
Mm,
which it does suck. I mean, they could add it
Does
post
suck a bit.
because everyone
I
wants
just
it.
like, it's like why not? Like some sort of like online, I feel like is just not that hard to add,
Yeah,
especially with the amount of time they've had to like extend this game out.
very
And that
true.
would just be That would be a beautiful,
I think they
beautiful
just
thing to
released
have.
like 7 new Star Wars games though. Like
They did,
they
yeah, they did
announced
announce.
them.
Oh God.
Oh, there's a lot coming.
Yeah, there's gonna be a
Big
first-person
development.
shooter. There's gonna be a like a
It seems
strategy-based
like
game.
a
game.
couple of them are going to be online.
I mean, Eclipse.
Eclipse,
Gonna
yeah.
have
Fallen
that's
Order's
gonna have
definitely
like
having a
multiplayer
sequel.
elements. Fallen Order is like all but like yeah, but that's like single player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Eclipse is gonna have multiplayer elements. They said they didn't really specify what that meant. It could be like really small.
The way that they said it, I think it's gonna be more of just like maybe like dueling. It was like competitive multiplayer elements, and I feel like if you're saying elements, it's not like a full multiplayer. Space.
Yeah,
It's
I'd
probably
kind of
gonna
like it to be like Destiny,
a
where it's like
lobby.
you can do both.
Well, that's what I feel like. That's like a full multiplayer experience. You don't say Destiny has multiplayer elements. You say
Yeah,
it's like a
but you can
multiplayer
play
game.
Destiny alone. I feel like kind
That
of.
is true. That is true.
You can play COD alone.
Yeah, but yeah, I
I'm loving the
guess.
Destiny recognition right now.
But I guess Eclipse is more like a story-based game. I think like it's gonna have an actual story. So like you also wouldn't necessarily call like Red Dead 2 a online game. Per
You
se,
don't
like,
call it an
it's
online game, but it definitely has a multiplayer.
Yeah, because it has a
Like,
whole section for
it doesn't. I
multiplayer. So I
wouldn't
don't
say
know.
that has elements. I would say
Yeah,
that has like an online.
it's true.
But I'm very excited. I mean, I feel like ever since my true love and glory, Battlefront 2 has been
Yeah.
canceled.
For fucking
Left in the
Battlefield,
dust
it is so
to die.
lame.
And honestly, this is coming from someone who has been a Battlefield supporter for probably his entire life as well. This new game is just fucking terrible. Like
And they're not even adding
there's like
stuff until the
some
summer.
good parts. I still kind of like I know till summer but I still go on sometimes and just kind of like I find my own way to have fun. But it is not like any other Battlefield game I've ever played, and I would 100% rather have them just continued updates for an amazing Star Wars game than just kind of leave it in the dust to die, man.
Yeah.
It's a sad
It's
thing.
upsetting. Stellan
Since-
Skarsgård. Oh, yeah. Keep going.
Real quick, since we're on this topic of Battlefront, y'all should go check out my TikTok, *Battlefront_wars.
God.
Got it.
Yeah. So Stellan Skarsgård, he's you guys know who that is? He's like Eric Selvig in the Avengers. He's in like Good Will Hunting and stuff. He was the big
Oh,
like
yeah.
fat dude in Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's playing an as no unknown role in the Andor series, and he said that season 2 is gonna film this fall. Even season 1 has not
What
even come out
series?
yet. Andor, Cassian Andor, the Rogue One dude.
Okay.
How
I'm
many
excited for that
series
as well.
are
Like,
confirmed
the
to be
planet.
coming out?
Andor is, Kenobi is, Ahsoka is. Rangers of the New Republic was supposed to, but I don't know if it is anymore. The Acolyte is. God, what else was there? There's gonna be a Lando something. I don't know if it's like a TV show or like a special or something. I don't know. There's gonna be some sort of Andor, or not Andor, Lando thing.
Exciting time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yeah,
for
a
sure.
lot of stuff coming. But and also like Bad Batch season 2 is coming out and stuff. But yeah, so a lot of people are not that excited for this show, which I mean I'm not as excited for it as say like Kenobi, but I'm still pretty excited for it. Just like seeing like early days rebellion stuff, I think that's cool.
Oh, true. I didn't think about that. I was like, I don't really care for his storyline, but early Rebellion days would be sick to see.
Also,
Yeah.
K2SO, I think is at least gonna be in
Oh,
season
for real.
2. See him get like formed. He was good. He's like a highlight of Rogue One. So that's pretty cool. And also there might be like little like I don't know, Bail Organa might be in it or something. I don't. This is not like confirmed, but just like the idea of early rebellion. Like there's probably some like decent like characters that are gonna show up. I would think.
Maybe some,
when
like-
canonically did the K2SO units like wipe out Mandalore? Because
I
they
don't
could
know.
see some of that too.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know when that. I think it was shortly after the Empire took over. But
So
yeah,
then
they never really said.
around there.
Yeah. But yeah, that'd be around the same time. So they might even see that. I don't know if like the rebellion tried to help or anything against. Well, the rebellion wasn't even a thing until kind of late.
Would
'Cause-
there be some like young Leia scenes?
Oh yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know if they're as like fast to potentially do Leia because like she's dead and stuff. Like it's like, but they definitely
don't
could.
know.
They
Use it.
use the technology probably, like what
Yeah,
they
they
used
could.
for Luke.
Yeah, they definitely could.
Book of Boba Fett.
They might.
Sure, circling back
Throw
to
in the
Book of
slave
Boba
Leia
Fett. How
outfit
good
one
was
more
that
time, you know?
We'll get to that. We'll get to the episode.
episode? I'm just gonna do a quick segue.
Yeah, it would be nice. But got a quote from Rolland Emerich. Do you guys know who that is?
I do not.
No.
He's the director of like Independence Day, and he did Moonfall recently, did like the 1998 Godzilla movie. He makes like these like pretty crappy action destruction movies, but he had to say,
Like Michael Bay.
yeah, except yeah, but he was talking about how Marvel and DC and Star Wars have just taken over like the industry and ruined the industry because no one does anything original. And he said like Christopher Nolan is one of the only people that makes bold new movies about whatever he wants, and he finds it hard to do that because he has a big enough name, but he doesn't have like as much creativity or whatever. Um, I don't think I mean, people have been saying this for a while, like that, like Star Wars and whatever has just been ruining movies, but I don't necessarily think that. There's a lot of new stuff
Star
still
Wars
coming out.
or
Star Wars, Marvel, DC, all these like blockbuster like stuff.
oh yeah, who
Yeah.
was it that
I mean, I
said
don't
that
really-
they
I
were
don't
like
really see
not
that.
real movies?
Scorsese.
Yeah, like that was like
I feel like there's a cheap way of saying just like he gives up almost.
Yeah, I think it's a cheap
Like,
way
he's
of
not
being
even
because
trying anymore.
Moonfall, he just made a movie that came out this weekend, and I feel like saying this is like insurance to be like, oh well, if this movie does bad, it's because movies don't do
Yeah.
well anymore. That's or
Yeah.
because like who the fuck said that? God, I forget the guy that made like House of Gucci and um stuff. He said that about what was it about House of Gucci? I think I watched a movie before that. It was The Last Duel he made, and he was talking about how like millennials or whatever don't get off their phone enough to like watch a movie, and they only like what's handed to them and whatever. I think there's an original story. I think still kind of like triumphs over everything. And also, I work in a movie theater. A decent amount of people were buying Moonfall tickets. The movie's making at least some money when you.
I mean, like in my opinion, like you can connect to a series like Star Wars or Marvel, connect to the characters, like idolize them even. Or in like Moonfall, I can't really connect to someone dying from a natural disaster.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. Is that we have a trust. Like the audience has like a trust with the franchise, and that's kind of
Also,
what makes them
yeah.
come back.
Going to see Spider-Man No Way Home and seeing that trailer before the movie, it looked awful.
It did look off. That's the thing. That's the thing. When Scorsese says stuff like this, it's one thing because he's Martin Scorsese. But Roland Emmerich, like really, you're not impressing anyone. Like you don't make these intelligent, original, thought out movies. You also make crappy movies. They're just like they're mindless. Also, they just don't do
the
well.
plot line from completely trailer alone. The nerdy guy teams up with the jock hero guy and gets the girl, and they have to save the planet.
Yeah, because the moon is falling.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's good. I've heard like 50-50s in terms of people walking out of the theater and telling a lot of people they'll tell like the box office person like on their way out they'll be like it was terrible, it was great, whatever. One person came in and they watched Moonfall like 3 times, so that's maybe it's great. I don't know.
I mean,
I mean, there's
do
always
think,
that person.
yeah.
They always is that
There's
person.
also you have to like it's like some people appreciate the visuals and like the graphics more than the storyline. So I feel like Moonfall
Yeah.
could be like a pretty cool visionary
Yeah,
like movie to
cinematography.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, see like the graphics and effects and stuff could be cool. So
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Star Wars has some pretty cool cinematography
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well, though. So
But yeah, that's the thing is like back when he made Independence Day, not that like movies necessarily weren't like that actiony, but I think going there for the spectacle of seeing like they like blow up the White House in that movie and stuff, and it's like a practical explosion. It's really cool. Going for the kind of uniqueness of special effects at the time was different. Now almost everything has that. You have to have a little bit more, and that's not necessarily saying that like that doesn't mean that these things are ruining cinema. It just means you have to actually be better than just your gimmicks to actually like, make money.
Not to call it not to call anyone out, wasn't that a girl in your film class saying that, or she
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
like the
Yeah,
she didn't like the
she
Marvel
was
movies? But
she was
like they
anti
use
CGI.
CGI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Such an
existence of
odd
CGI is
thing to
bad.
be
she's
anti.
yeah.
Yeah, I
She's
get it.
complaining about
Like,
Paddington.
yeah, the overuse of
It's not a
CGI is
real
bad, but
bear.
yeah, like, how do you want to make Paddington? Make him CGI? Because if you make it look good, it's just visual effects, and I don't know. Why would you want to like make society like not move forward? Because
Also, that's they no longer have to use like actual animals and
that's
train
true.
them like
Yeah,
a circus.
yeah. Like, there's some like fucked up footage from like way long ago when they're like they basically nearly killed horses just to. I mean, they did kill some horses, I think, but just like film like wagon robberies or whatever. They'd get like ran over and trampled and shit because there's really no other way to do it.
Hmm.
But yeah. So
Sounds like it
yikes.
might happen in Alice in Wonderland. Not
Yeah.
not fucking Alice in Wonderland. The fucking Dorothy, the
Wizard
shiny
of Oz.
boots. Thank
Wizard
you.
of Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like something that happened in that movie.
Oh yeah, dude. The guy that was supposed to be the Tin Man, like originally died because like the
Yeah,
paint
hung
was like
himself?
poisonous fumes.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, no,
Didn't he
Oh,
he's
that
set himself on fire
that's
too?
the Scarecrow. I
Didn't
think
some of
went on
them get
fire.
Wasn't
That
there like
movie.
didn't someone hang themselves in the background of
There's a
Yeah.
the
theory there that you can see a
yeah.
hanged Munchkin in the
wait,
back of the
Yeah.
forest.
what?
Yeah, just
I
look it up
did
on your
Yeah.
not
phone.
Well, the
remember.
Look
book
up.
was actually a lot
Oh,
darker than
also,
the movie
Yeah,
itself, so
also,
maybe it was part of it.
Which movie
Scarecrow
is
had a gun.
Wizard of Oz.
Never
Yeah,
used
Scarecrow
it.
did have a gun. Scarecrow was strapped.
Yeah.
He's hearing noises. He
He had
pulled
a
out a
gun
gun.
in one scene.
Scarecrow
Never used it
strap.
again.
Yeah, never mentioned it before either.
Yeah.
Don't know how he got it. Don't know
in
how
the
he did
movie?
it
He's
anymore.
strapped.
With a
Yes, there is a
gun.
clip of
Yeah.
Scarecrow. It's like 2 seconds long that he pulls out a gun. It's like
Yeah,
a
they hear a noise
revolver.
in the forest and he whips out a gun. It's
Is
crazy.
it like a gun that like fits like Scarecrow's like character at all? Or is it
It's like
just
a
like a
little
really heavy
revolver.
Kinda.
Glock?
Yeah.
It's like a
So a little
just pulls out
bit.
like a machine gun like.
Yeah. Listen
Uh,
to my little friend.
so yeah, it kind of fits, but it's just like they go through all these journeys and they never bring up his gun again.
Yeah, it is weird. Should have just shot the Wicked Witch. Okay, this is unrelated. I mean, it's related to what we're talking about. It's completely not related to the thing that we were originally talking about, though. But the Wicked Witch of the West, right? As far as we
Yeah.
know, she has one weakness, and it's water, which is a
What a
terrible
gun.
weakness to have. But why would she have just a bucket of water lying everywhere in the castle? Because that's how she wants him dying. Dorothy just picks up a
Did she?
bucket and pours on her. Yeah.
She just found her up there?
Well, I think like people are like mopping or something. I don't know. But it's like why? It's
I mean,
like
I
your
think that
only
whole movie
weakness.
she was just tripping.
Oh yeah, well she
Yeah,
was. Yeah, it was like a
yeah.
dream.
Yeah,
But
she finally
water?
got a sip of water and the trip ended.
Like if water was the only thing that was my weakness, I would just have no water around me ever. My entire like it'd be illegal to possess any water.
Live in
Yeah.
the desert.
Yeah.
Or just
Sure,
don't
yeah, she's an
clean
idiot.
with water. Just scrub it like with a dry sponge.
Yeah. Just keep it dirty. I don't know. Like she's a fucking weird green monster person. What does she care about cleanliness?
True.
Anyway, also I
What
like
were we
just
talking
added.
about?
We were talking about Roland Emmerich and Moonfall and
Oh,
such,
yeah. Right.
but it went off the rails a little bit. But my last thing of news was that Robert Blalack died. He was one of the founding members of ILM, which is Industrial Lights and Magic, and it's like the visual effects team that was made for the original Star Wars. And
Okay, thank you for explaining that.
yeah,
I didn't know where that was going.
he did some crazy stuff, like him and like the other people that founded it. I mean, they did amazing stuff that didn't just change Star Wars, but changed just movies in general in terms of effects, which I thought was just something to mention. He died a few days ago in Paris. Will be missed.
Rest
R.I.P.
in peace to
Yeah.
my guy.
But anyway, Book of Boba Fett episode 6, main discussion point. But I guess we should just talk about like, since this is the first thing we've done, just the opinions on the show in general so far.
True.
I personally have been a fan of the later episodes a lot.
Mm.
I think they're really good. It is a bit
Mandalorian
weird.
episodes.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say it is a bit odd that the show doesn't seem to include Boba Fett in his own
He's
show,
a scene
but
awesome.
He was in one scene,
Yeah.
yes. He had a brief cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
also
I've
really
liked
liked
this
his
show so
flashbacks
far.
earlier on.
Yeah, I've liked the show so far, even the stuff that was like not, not the new stuff. Like I liked the Boba Fett story. I love Boba Fett. I always
Yeah.
like wanted to see
Mhm.
him come out of the Star Bit and do stuff, and I like what they are doing with him. Um, I think it's a little overhated. I think some people are kind of coming at it a little hard. I think like
I think people
at
are
worst,
just
it's like just kind of mid.
I'm not seeing a
yeah.
lot of hate, to be honest. I think it's just confusion.
Well,
I
recently
think
it's been a
for
lot of
what is it?
confusion.
Episode 2? Is that or is it 3? Like that was like the
The
most
one with
hated.
the motorcycle chase or whatever was really
Yeah, I
hated.
mean, I personally was
That's
not a fan of that
understandable.
at all.
I didn't like the chase,
Um,
but I didn't mind the episode.
yeah,
Sure.
They got
it was just like not really what I was expecting, but
Yeah,
I could
it's
see
just
how it's getting like a little bit more hate. I feel like a lot of things nowadays just kind of get hate at first, and then people kind of grow to love it later
yeah,
on.
and it does. I
usually
feel like it
happens.
really like it depends on how it ends. If it ends
Yeah.
really well, then I think the whole series as a whole will be like more appreciated for its like story.
Like official prediction, that's what's gonna happen with the sequels.
Yeah, I mean, happened with the prequels. You liked, like, it was
Mhm.
hated, and then people grow up, and it became like solidified as like this part of Star Wars, and
Mm.
yeah, people liked it, and also the kids. Here's the thing: this is a really controversial thing that shouldn't be controversial at all because it's factual. Star Wars is for children. It always has been, always will be. George Lucas said that himself. Dave Filoni says that. If you like think a Star Wars thing is childish, it's stupid. Like I don't think things should be bad, but it's for kids. It can be enjoyed by all, but it's all for children. Which
But in that same sense, so is Lego, and it's slowly appealing to the adult audience too.
yeah, and I think a lot of that is because since Lego's been around for a while, adults had Legos when they were kids, and it's just this thing of like,
Yeah.
like enjoying
I
something.
do agree with that. Like, obviously, like Star Wars, and like, I mean, it was said to be for kids a lot, but at the same time, I feel like a little bit of what the difference is. Like, obviously, like the first movies came out so long ago that like now anybody who grew up with those first couple movies, like they're like adults now, so you can't really say that like people like necessarily grew up with Star Wars. But I do feel like there is now more of a fan base that is growing up with new Star Wars content much more consistently than ever before. So I
Mhm.
do think I would like to see maybe some more like like a little bit more grown up type aspects in some of the shows where it's kind of just like understanding that a lot of the audiences now are growing up with it. So it's like
Mhm.
as much as it is still for kids, it could also still they could have maybe some more serious elements like intertwined throughout it that I think would be cool to see.
Well,
Or
yeah, I mean,
like a rated R movie, but I
I
don't
don't know.
think I'd ever
I
watch
don't
it.
think I'd ever
Vader.
want. I don't think I'd ever want to. I don't think
Yeah.
anything in Star Wars should be made to the point where kids can't enjoy it. Like they shouldn't.
I actually I do agree with that. Yeah.
I think there
I
can
don't
be
know
stuff
if
that's
I
like
think a rated R movie would probably be a little bit too much,
What do
but
you think, like Marvel?
different. I think it's different because like it's not as I don't know. Like Marvel,
Deadpool.
they
I
were
mean, I
comic
want to see that
You say, yeah,
un,
that's what I was going about.
staying.
It's like
Oh,
a
I definitely think that
Like
they should be rated R. That's why I think it's different. I
yeah,
think that there
yeah.
should be
The
tons of rated
It
R.
has its
Because there's
parts
also there's
valid.
so many rated R comics, like graphic
Yeah,
comic books
exactly.
yeah.
that they do. Because I don't think Marvel is like inherently superheroes and kind of like the concept is for kids, but I think there's a lot of Marvel source material that is not for children at all. Like kids should not be reading
Mhm.
some of that stuff. But I think depicting it in live action, it should keep that same like tone. But yeah, like I think I think it kind of like the way like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or even like a lot of Clone Wars, where it's like you watch it as a kid and it's one thing, and then when you watch it when you're older, the darkness and kind of like the depth of it and the more adult aspects of it kind of like are seen. I think that
Mhm.
stuff is good where you can like
Yeah.
have a new
Yeah.
appreciation for it. But I think when it comes to the point where it's like kids can't watch this, then it's like too far from where it was supposed
Yeah,
to
that's
be.
fair.
But anyway, I guess that's our brief that whole discussion was our brief review on Book of Boba Fett so far. We just go through that.
How
But yeah,
long is the recording so far?
I don't know, like 29 minutes.
Honestly,
Probably.
We haven't even talked about the
going
episode yet. No, we're talking about the episode.
going back to a little bit like with like maybe like talking about like what that girl was talking about with CGI, right? Why do you even think they like included that chase scene that everyone's kind of hating on? Because I feel like it was kind of like added in there, and it was also I feel like it lasted way too long. They had too many shots where it was like an up close of them turning a corner, just like for what, like going like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, but,
Like I'm just like
yeah, it was weird.
I feel like they were trying to almost show off technology a bit, and it's like I don't really understand unless it was just kind of to make it maybe more exciting or something. But I felt like it was kind of like a pointless scene. Like, do you think they should have scenes like that just to kind of like throw it in there where they're like, look at what we can do?
No, I don't. What I think that scene was there for was because like the plot of that episode is like him building this like crime family, and I think they wanted to have a crime family that actually like was useful. So they were like, all right, we'll give these guys a chase scene because they're like the motorcycle people. So they
Yeah.
get a chase scene to show their kind of like use.
So that was just like a terrible chase scene, man.
It
So,
just, well, yeah, I just don't think it was very well. It was just slow and it was too long.
it was too long.
It was a bit,
It's
yeah.
not like or Star Wars doesn't know how to do fast chase scenes.
They do, yeah. I mean,
Even
they've never really
cool.
done it like through a city. I mean, they kind of have, but like, I don't know. I think
But
part of
don't
it
they-
might be
And Clone
too.
Wars.
Homework. Yeah, that's like animated, so I think it's a little in terms of like practicality
Yes.
and whatever.
I mean, I guess like Attack of the Clones, like the chase scene.
That's true.
there.
Yeah, through
But
Coruscant.
yeah, I don't know. Just kind of felt like it was like shoved in there a bit.
Yeah, it was a little because also Boba Fett can fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Fly down.
And then that was the other thing. They just had Boba Fett kind of like zoop,
Land,
fly
yeah.
down, and it was like I wanted to see him, if anything, flying through above the city, chasing him on his jetpack.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, now we know where all their budget went to the next two
Yeah.
episodes.
that's true.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is true.
The Luke face probably was not. But yeah, I guess we should talk about the last episode because that's what we're here for. Yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome.
I
Nice.
really, I that was, I
thought it
mean,
was pretty sick. Yeah.
I think they did a great job of bringing people back. I mean, like, that was just. I honestly didn't know when I would see Grogu again
Yeah.
and Luke and them
Yeah.
training. Like after they kind of went off in Mandalorian, I remember saying like, please let us see some training. Like, please let us see them like doing stuff. And now they're whipping out freaking Yoda's lightsaber and like, oh man, it's just
Yeah.
that was
I
that
mean-
was a great episode.
How do you guys feel about the whole like controversy of of Luke making Grogu choose
Grogu
that? Because it's
choose.
kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like there's a quote by Obi-Wan where he says only Siths deal in absolutes,
Yeah.
and it's like
Deal,
that's
yeah.
kind of like what Luke is doing to Grogu.
Yeah, I am a bit against that. I mean, I've said this before, but like, I feel like Luke's why he's one of my favorites is that he takes the like previous like the prequel Jedi have, and kind of takes what they think is the biggest weakness, which is like attachments, and he makes it his biggest strength, and he like
Yeah.
saves the galaxy just because he has this attachment to his father, and
Right.
his hope for him and his belief in him is what wound up winning in the end. His attachment to Leia and Han and Chewie and like the people that he loves. That's what I guess like maybe it was a mistake for him in Empire to go after them, but that's kind of what like makes Luke different. And I always thought the way he taught his next class, I thought that would also carry over to being different. Some people have theorized that it's a test, that Luke is just testing Grogu and he actually wants him to choose Mando, and then that'll be passing a test. I don't know. I think it's likely it is just a mistake that he's making, which is kind of gonna.
I mean, yeah, I kind
push
of
on
took it
eventually.
as like if anything. Well, so I guess there's like also. I mean, we'll get into this in a second. I also don't really think this is the case, but there's also like the theory of like the whole alternate universe, blah 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 type shit.
Yeah, that's
But,
definitely not a thing.
But yeah, like I honestly think if anything, it doesn't fit in his character, but because of that, it fits with his character of when he's like the Jedi need to come to an end, because
Yeah.
maybe he is trying to teach
To
how
follow,
the
yeah,
Jedi are. He's trying to bring the Jedi back and say, you can't be attached. You need to just commit to the
Yeah,
Jedi Order.
exactly.
You can't see Mando, and he thinks that this is like the way to do it. And then when he realizes the failings with Kylo later on, he's like, this is not the way. Like, the Force shouldn't be split in half like this. You shouldn't have to choose just the light or just the dark. And it's like, it's just really like like hypocritical to just say that it has to be one way or another. And that's kind of like the way I'm just choosing to like unravel that scene so far in my mind. Obviously, we'll see what happens in the next episode and how he deals with it. I also kind of think that this is like pushing a little bit forwards, like maybe like a different point, but I heard someone say this, I forget who, but I think it'll be interesting if maybe like Grogu chooses the armor, and then like they take him to Tatooine, and then that's like the reason why like Luke might start like fighting on like Tatooine with like in like the war, and then maybe Grogu has to save Mando or something, and he like thinks that he has to become a Jedi in order to like protect him, and maybe like goes back and with Luke and says like I need to be like a Jedi now or something. But
Maybe. Do you think Grogu's gonna speak his first words? Because he opened his mouth a little bit. He opened his mouth a little bit at the end of the last episode.
It's gonna freak me out.
What even?
I don't-
Yeah, that would freak me out.
How'd he
I don't
sound?
even know.
Deep, high.
What if it's like really deep?
Yo.
Like really, yo.
It's
It's the
like
lightsaber I
a
choose.
full grown. Do they speak the way Yoda speaks?
I don't
like,
know.
too? Like,
Mm-mm.
Because I think, and I don't know if
They
this is
made
like
a point
canon or not.
of Luke saying that, or he said he spoke in riddles.
Well, I think that's just
Yeah.
the way. I don't think it's like the order he talked. I think it's more of just like he's saying,
No.
he's just saying size
That's
matters
not
not. Because he's saying the riddle is basically he's talking about how his size doesn't matter, but so does the size of everything else. Like it's a. But yeah, I don't know if Grogu would, because I don't know if this is canon or not, but I heard that Yoda talks backwards because that's how people used to talk, like in the galaxy, and he's just so old that is how he talks.
Interesting.
I feel like it's likely that it's just how the race of people talk, and I think Grogu might just talk backwards. Because I feel like if Grogu didn't talk backwards, too many people would like
be
question
why
why
the
he
hell
doesn't.
was Yoda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like they'll just make him talk backwards.
I mean,
Or
maybe
maybe
Yoda was just
never.
clowning everyone.
Yeah, this is Robert
Fuck
Chicken.
with
Yoda
everyone.
could have talked normally if he wanted to. He has the capacity. If I can talk like Yoda, then Yoda can talk like me. He could just rearrange his words.
True, this is
He's lazy.
You're like a.
Yeah.
actual
Well-
statements you're speaking.
But we got that
Who's frustrating all the rest of the Jedi's to see you test their anger.
It's true. Yeah, you could be testing their anger to see if they're dark.
Yeah, I mean the real question is Yoda wise or does he just sound wise because of the way he speaks?
It's true.
True.
I mean, do you necessarily inherently sound wise for talking backwards? I feel like we
I
just
feel like he
associate that with
sounds
him
wiser.
now, because we know
Think about
Yoda's
it.
wise.
I don't know. If you're so confident in the way that you speak, like, and it's just the way you speak is wrong. And you're
Yeah,
like this respected person. Maybe it's like, oh my god, like he's too good to speak in the correct way. Like
I guess it's like how like Mr. Miyagi has like broken English, but it makes him sound
Yeah.
smarter because it's like he's like this ancient wise man or whatever. But yeah, and we also get that scene, that Order 66 flashback with I guess Shiv, you probably have more to say on this than anyone. The Barriss Offrey
yeah.
thing. Do you think
I
she saved him?
think I have yes, I have some heavy thoughts about that. I think it's either one of two things. I mean, okay, first of all, they did not go through the effort of adding her symbol in on the door right there just for like no reason. Like, unless it was some sort of accident where the symbol happened to be the exact same symbol as her door, like they didn't just add it for decoration or an Easter egg. Like, that is her room. And the reason that confuses me a bit is because at that point, she is already supposed to be, like, kicked out of the Jedi Order. So maybe they just never took, like, the symbol down off of her door or something. But I think it might symbolize that maybe she somehow got reinstated back in the Jedi Order with, like, some sort of supervision. That's kind of a running theory right now. I mean, I know Dave Filoni specifically did not write her out or kill her off because he wanted there to be more with her story. There's like a clip of him saying that on YouTube somewhere, and he was originally like I think they had plans that she like was gonna like blow up a cell that she was in or something. I don't know. Like, she was gonna kill herself or something, and she's like he cut that out. He's like, no, I want there to be more to her story. So I think she definitely is gonna be involved with getting Grogu out of the Jedi Temple. I think that's really cool too. It's a bit of a redeeming factor for her. It'll be kind of like, she like maybe like, I mean, she wasn't wrong about what she was saying with like the Jedi, but I think like bombing the temple and like harming innocents and whatever kind of was wrong, like the way she
Yeah.
went about it and framing Ahsoka. So this was like a bit of a redeeming factor for her there, and I'm very happy about that. I think that's something I'm very excited to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
But
surprised if she was in the Ahsoka show.
yeah, I could
With
definitely see her being in the
some
Ahsoka
sort of-
show.
And speaking of, Ahsoka showed up in that episode so casually. She was just
She
there.
did.
There was
so
not a
bad.
build-up. Mando just woke up for a nap, and she was like, "Hi,"
Yeah.
and I didn't
She
mind.
needs no build up.
She done, yeah. I mean, she got she talked to Luke, which was that was something I
That
wanted to
was
see
good.
very
That was
badly.
great.
I never thought we
I liked her
would.
authority over
Yeah.
Luke, kind of. I like how like he like respected that she was like an older, wiser person, and
Yeah.
like
Also, same episode, that was the first time we've seen clones live action in 17 years.
They weren't live action. They were also CG. They still
Oh,
never gotten live action
Okay, it
clones.
was a live action film.
never got a live action close.
No, that was CG. The
The
In
show
Mando.
is live action, I'm saying.
well, oh yeah, I guess it's Sword of the Sith. Yeah, the show itself is live action. I wish they did live action clone. Like I wish they had them in a suit though. Honestly.
Mhm.
That I do too, especially because they could have done the thing where they like call all those cosplayers like to come
Yeah,
and
the
help them out with that.
501st. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Although I do agree a little bit with like because it was never done in live action, the suits look a little bit different.
Yeah, it
and, like,
maintains like the feel, I guess, of the prequels. to
Yeah,
have them
it
be-
does maintain like that prequel feel a little bit more. But I also like I love seeing the community get involved and knowing for Mandalorian that they called upon like a cosplay community to like come and help them because of budget. Like it not only does it just make perfect sense to be like Star Wars fans, and not only just Star Wars fans, but Star Wars fans that are so deeply in love with this thing that they will spend money to make it like their own versions of these costumes that are extremely screen accurate. How about you come and help us shoot a Star Wars show? Like that just makes sense, first of all.
Yeah.
But second of all, like it's just smart too, like from like a filming standpoint and a budgetary standpoint and whatnot. So I would definitely love to see them utilize that more. Just makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's like really makes it feel like a community.
Makes me
Yeah.
happy, makes me smile.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have a little note here on Boba Fett in the Boba Fett episode because he's barely in it. It's in one scene. He might say a couple words. I don't really remember. I mean, I guess we kind of already talked about thoughts on like dividing. Like,
Wait, Boba Fett was in that?
yeah,
So
we said
cool.
it
I haven't
was
seen him in
really-
so
yeah,
long, man.
little cameo, but he was. Because yeah, like this episode, I would say is like a really great and fun Star Wars episode. But yeah, for Book of
Yeah.
Boba Fett, it was not because didn't have Boba Fett in it. Also, just in general, I wouldn't want every episode of every show to be like this, where it's just like cameo after cameo after cameo. It's a fun thing to get once, but I think if it becomes too much like that, then like the story just kind of goes away and it just becomes like fan service. But as of now, the cameos were cool, and one of the biggest cameos I think that like is actually very good for the story too of Book of Boba Fett was the Cad Bane thing at the very end,
Oh,
Yes.
which
oh my
was
god.
so cool. His voice was
So
awesome
cool.
again. He shot that dude just like that. The tension of like they were
Still a
both like reaching for the
badass.
gun.
60 years old or some shit. Still a
Yeah.
badass. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
they can't
think.
not
I'm
introduce
fine
Cad
with his
Bane
face,
and
though.
not have a standoff, and that's exactly what they
Do you think the original Clone Wars standoff happened? Because he is like a
the
little
one that
metal
was
plate
supposed to
in
be
Bad
there and
Batch.
got,
Yeah,
like,
the one was supposed to be there.
I think it happened. Isn't that's why he got
Yeah.
his death?
I think
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But I don't know how like officially canonical all that is, since it was
Yeah.
deleted. I think
Actually,
it would be cool.
yeah. Speaking of canon stuff, also, this is like definitely like just a bit different from what we were just talking about, but um, they decanonized Yoda's lightsaber being destroyed.
Yeah, so some people have. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure it's just they just didn't. They basically did decanonize it. But some people have had like made theories to kind of make them both canon, where
Okay.
either
You had a backup one or something.
he had a backup one, Palpatine may have made a fake one to make like in public to make him seem like more menacing. He's like, oh look, I burned Yoda's lightsaber, he's dead, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not even a real lightsaber.
Yeah.
He could have made another one. I don't know. There are a few things, but yeah, at the end of the day, it really is just they didn't. Which I don't hate that much. I didn't read that comic, but if they start decanonizing the
did.
comics that I am reading, that would be kind of disappointing. 'Cause
So
it's just like,
that was a comic, and that's like part of a strain of like a strand of comics that I really hope they don't decanonize much more of. I think those Vader comics are like really like pristine, and like the only reason I would really like be okay with it is if they just kind of redid it in like in live action or something, which I don't even know if I would like that necessarily. But like those are really really good comics, and I kind of like have always just held those in my mind as like like exactly what happens after Revenge of the Sith, and exactly like it's like this is what happens in between whatever we see. So and I think they're really well done. So I personally hope they don't necessarily just rewrite everything. Something tiny like that I don't really mind. It's like not a really big deal. You can come up with like your own ways to kind of like what you were saying, like keep them both canon. But
I'm sure they can recover.
yeah, like I hope they don't just rewrite big parts of it just to make a new storyline slightly different.
Yeah. Do
But-
you think they're gonna bring in anyone like another additional new characters into Book of Boba Fett for the last episode?
well, yeah, I was gonna say, do you think there's any chance of Mace Windu,
Ooh,
Not
no,
in this.
Boba
I think
Fett?
there's
Well,
a
because
chance.
maybe in Kenobi.
well,
Yeah, I
because
was gonna say
he
if
killed
anywhere in
Jango Fett's.
Kenobi.
He killed Jango Fett, and Tamir Morrison did say he thinks it'd be cool if he like hunted down Mace Windu. But
Yeah, that's true. Also,
would
that
be
did
cool.
happen in the Clone Wars, so
yeah, I
it would be
am
cool if you.
anti Mace Windu coming alive. I think he should stay dead. I have been anti that for a while. I think his
You're
death
just
is
a hater,
one
man.
of
You're just a
the.
hater.
I mean, I don't like Mace Windu. Also, I will admit that I don't like him. He's annoying. He's a dick. I think he's a bigger reason why the Jedi fell, and he's. I think his death is
I
really
agree.
the only huge major death that happened in terms of the prequel movies. Like if you watch Clone Wars and the
Qui-Gon?
Plo Koon and for Order 66 or for the turn of the
Okay.
the Jedi, because if you
Racially motivated.
no, I'm saying I mean he's major. I'm saying it's major. If you take the um like if you take the Clone Wars and like Plo Koon dying, Kit Fisto dying, like that's all sad and whatever. But just the movies themselves, you really only know Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Mace Windu. And if Mace Windu, he was pretty much the only one that actually died. But if he comes back to life, then that just means all of the main characters live. There's really nothing like
What happened at Order 66? Did they even lose anyone?
yeah.
So
Anyone
if
important?
Did anyone?
if we only still had, like the movies, I think I would understand what you're saying a lot more. But I think you do need to acknowledge the fact that, like, we like the average Star Wars fan or people that would be watching like these shows maybe do take Plo Koon's death or whatever like as more like of like an important person dying, and I think bringing back somebody like Mace Windu at this point wouldn't really uproot that whole Order 66 thing as badly as you think. Like I think it would be cool to see him, like no, you don't see the body in Hollywood. They're still like, like the rule, like there still might be alive. Like I think it just lines up too perfectly for him to like still possibly be around. And I would love to see like a very darker version of him that's like maybe like more angry or like to see like what happened with him and like maybe like continue a story. I think he would be a really cool character to explore in my opinion.
What do you think he would be in, like Kenobi or Ahsoka or?
Maybe Kenobi or Ahsoka. I don't want them to just kind of throw him in there though, just to throw him in. Like, I would want to see, if anything, like in like Kenobi, like I would be okay with him also dying like definitively again. Like maybe he's like fighting Vader and Vader
Yeah.
like, kills him definitively.
Well, yeah,
That
that's
would
the
be
other
kind
thing.
of a
'Cause
cool scene too. Honestly, like they have hatred, they got some beef, like.
if it did
What
take
were you
place like in Ahsoka or Mando or whatever, then that means that he would have just let the Empire happen and not do anything. Like he would have
Yeah.
just been in the sidelines. So I think it probably wouldn't be better if anything if he showed up in like Kenobi and just died there. So it was
Right.
like definitive. But also, I wouldn't want these cameos are fun, but I don't want for like Kenobi. I really want like a good story, and I don't want it to just be like
Right. That's
here's
what I'm
the
saying. I don't
episode
want it to
where
be shoehorned
it's
in there.
yeah. Someone did
But
say
with
that
that
it would be
said,
cool if they had kind of like there was the one episode of Boba Fett that was just the Mandalorian. But if they had that, except one episode of Kenobi is just like a Darth Vader's perspective on this journey. Like maybe Kenobi's in like a scene or whatever, but it's just like what he's kind of been doing and more on his end of it, which I think that would be fine because it works for the story, just seeing both sides of the same thing.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like I don't know how much is of Kenobi is gonna be just all Kenobi, or if they're gonna do exactly that where they're gonna give more of. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily just a Kenobi show, or if it's more of like a Kenobi Vader show. And if it is kind of like a little bit of like a Kenobi Vader show, where it's like maybe Vader gets like an episode to himself, like what you're saying, I think that would be a perfect place to have him have his own flashback, where maybe he, like, meets up with Mace Windu and they have like a cool fucking fight, and he definitively strikes him down there and it's like, you should have made me a master, and blah blah blah, like finally releases his beef with him. Like I think that would be a good way to maybe like have somebody like Mace Windu come back. But I don't want I also agree, like he's just been sitting around this whole time like not doing anything. Like I wouldn't necessarily like that idea. So if they do bring him back, I would want to see it maybe in like a flashback or something, and just kind of have
it's
him.
possible that we could see the trio again of Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka.
Oh, definitely. I think that's very likely
It has to
to be a flashback of some sort.
It has
I
to
would
be
definitely
in
see
the
Anakin and Ahsoka.
in the Ahsoka show for sure.
Yeah, there could be
not even-
Force
not
Ghost
even a
Obi-Wan
flashback.
because
Like, what if it's like current Ahsoka?
well, Anakin is
Obi-Wan
confirmed for
and
the
Vader.
Ahsoka show, and I assume that's probably a Force Ghost. So Obi-Wan probably also could be, and also Luke could be there too because like just regular.
I could see Luke, yeah.
Or do we
Oh
think
my
we would see
God.
in the Obi-Wan show?
There's so much.
And Luke's definitely not in Kenobi now. Oh, you're saying in
Not-
Kenobi? Do you think Ahsoka
Kenobi, Ahsoka, and Vader.
in the Kenobi show or in something else?
Yeah, in the Kenobi show.
I don't think Ahsoka's going to be in Kenobi other than like flashbacks,
Yeah,
honestly.
that's probably good.
But I think Force Ghost Obi-Wan has a chance to be in Ahsoka. I see. I don't think the other way around.
Would it be old man?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess he would be. It'd probably still be Ewan McGregor though, unless they're just showing like an image of him. They used
That'd be
Alkin
kinda
as.
cool. Hmm.
I don't think we can end this discussion without talking about Garsa Thwip dying in the unfortunate explosion in that bar at the very end. You know who Garsa Thwip is?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about a person. And
No.
I was gonna feel really bad about not knowing who you were talking about.
the girl, the Twilight girl.
The baddie. Although our boy
Max
was
Rebo.
not there. Our
They
boy
didn't
Max
show
Rebo
him there.
was not there.
He was in a Christmas special. Did you guys not watch the Lego Christmas special?
I did watch the Christmas. It's not canonical,
He's
but
in
yes,
it.
I did watch it.
He's in it. He survived.
He did
He's
survive.
fine.
He might have an in because he survived the sail barge explosion and he survived this one because he wasn't there.
Mm.
He might know what's going on a little more than you
I don't
think.
know. I think he has the force.
He might have the
Him and
force.
Jar
You didn't
Jar
know.
are collaborators.
Yeah,
Him,
Darth
Jar
Jar
Jar.
Jar.
Maul.
actually.
It's him, Darth Jar Jar, Darth Maul.
There's
Three
the dark.
identical
There's the
lightsabers.
Dark Gonk also.
The Darth what?
Gonk, the Gonk droid. You not seen that? There's like a
Oh,
Battlefront 2
yeah,
mod where
nah,
it's
yeah.
Dooku. It's the Gonk droid.
Did you see the theory that R5 is force sensitive?
That's in like a non-canonical comic, I think. But yeah, he's a force
Yeah.
sensitive. He had a force ghost and everything too.
This
Mhm.
is not
Interesting.
R4.
Yeah, R4 is better, but
I
you
feel
got
like
a
that
hero
doesn't make sense. That's probably
Yeah,
just not
droid.
canonical.
being I don't know. Anyone have like major predictions for the finale? I think Boba's probably definitely gonna ride the Rancor.
I think, yeah, I could see that.
But
I
then again,
think what I
Mobius
was
never
saying
rode a jet
earlier-
ski in Loki, so
Yeah.
That's true.
So-
could
I
see
think
him
earlier
dying.
what I was saying of Luke going. Like
I don't know how
think
much of
there's
Luke
gonna
we'll
be a
see.
reason. I don't know. I think we're gonna see Luke taking Grogu there, and during that, there's gonna be a reason that Luke fights. I feel like I would love to see it. I think they know we want to see it, and think they're gonna show us some.
If
real-
Luke fought, I'd like it to be like minimum. Like I kind of
I
want
think it'll
Boba
be
Fett to
minimal
be
as
able
well. I'm okay with that.
to end his own battle, kind of fight his own battle
Yeah,
with
maybe
his
we won't
with
see
his
anything
family.
from
But
Luke. Yeah, I guess it is the Book of like.
there also may be a post credit scene. There was a post credit scene for Mando season 2, which was
Right,
for
right.
Boba Fett. So
Yeah.
I think it'll at least end
Oh my
on
God.
somewhat of like something's
Oh,
happening.
what if they do the trailer or something for Kenobi at the end of this?
That would be well. The other thing is Super Bowl is coming up, so there's probably going to be some trailers for that.
Okay.
Maybe
But
there.
I
I
think
don't know.
because the Super Bowl is coming up, I think they should. If they're, in my opinion, if they're planning on releasing trailers for during the Super Bowl, which is definitely a good idea, especially if they're gonna do like a May the 4th release, they should definitely do a post-credit
Yeah.
trailer for like
Yeah.
anybody who's like going through Disney Plus and like watching this stuff. Like they should definitely do like a trailer here first, like a little teaser trailer, and then release the full trailer on Super Bowl Sunday.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be a great way to get all the fans on in.
Any other finale predictions?
definitely-
Or just like what it's actually gonna happen?
I definitely think we're gonna see some sort of death.
Maybe I forget her
Some
name,
death?
but the
Fennec Shand?
yeah, the lady. No, the lady who makes his new ship, Mando's
Oh.
new ship, the droid lady. Maybe
Yeah,
she dies.
I don't
Paul-
think she's gonna.
I think if
she's
she were to
gonna
die, it would be in Mando season 3. I just don't think
Yeah.
she's gonna be in the show anymore at this point.
I don't think she's gonna be in.
'Cause she just like stays in the
Maybe.
shipyard.
That would be kind of sad. She's just been like,
A presence.
yeah, she's been like a nice
doubt
little
it's gonna be
presence.
Fennec.
But I don't think, maybe Fennec. I just don't think. I don't know.
I think it's
Honestly,
probably
like I
Boba,
could kind of
not
see
gonna
like
lie.
nobody dying.
I could see
like, I
nobody
could-
dying. I could see
I
maybe
could
some
see,
of his
like,
like
I could see
random
Cad Bane.
people and his little family dying.
Yeah.
I could see Cad Bane dying.
Oh, Cad Bane, I could definitely see dying. Yeah.
Oh,
I could
I
see
would
him
be
dying
kind of
in a duel.
annoyed if they just killed him off an episode after they introduced him, though.
Yeah, but
I
also
don't
he's
know.
old. Like they could do other stuff with him
Yeah.
in stuff from the past. Like they could do.
Like-
He
Yeah.
might be in Bad Batch again.
Yeah,
I mean, I would
But
like to
I
see
would
him.
I would have liked
Dead.
them to like at least build him up a little bit more before just killing him. But I could see why he would be a target to Do you think do you know who I think might die? I forget his name. The sheriff guy.
Well,
Oh,
he's already shot. But
yeah, Cobb
Like,
Vanth.
he-
He did
yeah,
get
he
shot
already
in
got
the
shot,
shoulder.
but, like, what
I
if,
don't
like-
think he
like-
died. Yeah.
No, he didn't die yet. I could see him though, like maybe like sacrificing something for his town or like
Yeah,
doing,
maybe.
making,
Black
like,
Chrysanthemum.
a big-
I don't know if Black Chrysanthemum will die. Just because, like,
he's just too menacing.
too-
man.
yeah, he was
He's
just introduced.
Death is scared
he
of
was
him.
just exactly like the people that don't know him are just like, oh, he's a big Wookiee, and the people that do know him, they like him, but like he also doesn't do that much in the comic. Like, he gets
Well,
stuff in the comics, but he isn't like this.
Yeah.
He isn't like everyone's
Yeah.
favorite.
He's
Like
a
his death
scar.
just wouldn't do much. He got a scar because I think Obi-Wan deflected
Yeah, I
a
was gonna
blaster
say,
to
that's
his.
pretty big.
That is big.
The fact that he
Yeah.
he fought Obi-Wan.
He fought up because he like stole Uncle Owen.
I feel like that would be a cool Black series to have.
Oh,
Do
what?
they have
They
a Black
probably
series of him?
not that I know
Probably
of.
making one.
They probably
They have
make one.
they have the Old Republic Wookiee. I forget his name.
Oh yeah. Alright. Is that all of our thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett episode? Is that
I
pretty
think
much
so.
everything we got?
I believe so.
Alright. So we went on to the convention this weekend with all the collectibles, and Toby got scammed allegedly.
Oh God.
Go
Not
ahead,
allegedly. It was.
I guess we didn't even
very-
tell you this,
very
Jeff,
much a
like
scam.
all this stuff.
Yeah, this is the first
Yeah.
time.
Go, go ahead, Toby.
Basically, what happened, right, was my friend Kevin was getting some Black Series. He was planning on getting 2 Black Series, Kylo Ren and Rey, with BB-8. And the guy there, one of the vendors, he was like, oh, if you guys buy a third, I'll hit you in with a little deal. So I saw this pretty cool Asajj Ventress Black Series, and I kind of like Clone Wars Black Series a little bit,
Alright.
kind of like my thing going
I
on
respect
right now.
it. I respect it very much.
I've been watching Clone Wars recently, so yeah, I like them, like some characters in there. Anyways, so he's like, oh yeah, I'll throw you in here. Like the original price tag on it was 35, so he's like, all right, because you're buying 2 other ones, I'll give you it for 25. So I'm like, oh
Okay.
wow, $10 off. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So then I'm like, yeah, that's a deal. So I give him 25, and then we're driving home from the convention. I'm looking up like the prices, and retail price is 24 or like $24, $25. Like He
Yeah.
just he absolutely scammed me.
So you'll find that happens a lot. It's kind of yeah, like it just kind of like happens when people sell stuff like that. They'll market. I mean, were the things you were saying was that like from like a retailer or was that from like other sellers like the
It was from
24?
like an online store. Like I forget what store, but it was like a toy store
Mm.
online or some shit.
I mean, it is possible. Like retail, like people kind of resellers. It's hard to find, like good prices because people like to mark it up like that. But yeah, that is a little bit.
But
I was
you didn't
also
have to pay
trying.
tax or shipping, so
It's
Well,
true.
that too.
Then I was just like, we were just offering like prices, and I was like, I can't do that, man. And I just walked away. Felt kind of epic. Felt like I was on Pawn Stars.
I I bought Ray and Kylo, and the Ray came with a BB-8 for just 40. It was 20 each, so that was it was a decent
Pretty
deal. They're pretty good. I got them set up. I also bought
Ray came with BB-8.
yeah, yeah, it was pretty good. I also bought
How
a
small is the BB-8?
I mean to scale,
It's gotta be pretty small.
it's probably like 2 inches, I would say. But the
Oh, so it's huge. It's average size.
yeah, I was gonna say like I compared it to my dick, but the I also bought a DeLorean from Back to the Future that's also a Transformer, which I think is awesome. It's like I set up and
Yeah.
everything. It is
Yeah.
really cool.
You,
That's
you
more
did seem
expensive.
very happy
Cody.
about that.
That was cool. Oh yeah, and then we got
That's pretty
Cody.
cool.
Yeah, wasn't exactly Comic Con,
Copier.
but it was
No, I'm
cool.
just kidding.
That goes with my Obi-Wan.
That's true. We just did our Star Wars marathon. We just finished all the movies. That took a while, but
Did. Now we're
yeah,
moving on to better things.
yeah.
I'm
I
really
don't
glad
think
we did.
I'm glad to. Did anyone's like opinions change on anything? Mine didn't
I was
really.
gonna say I think every time I watch them more, I appreciate the sequels a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think I had a
Specifically,
slightly opposite opinion for the first two prequel movies. I thought I enjoyed them more than I did
It
when
could
I.
just be your standards being
honestly,
lowered.
I did a little bit as well.
Yeah,
That
It's
first
also
one was hard to watch. I don't
yeah.
dude, it's hard to appreciate them now because like compared to the movies and like TV shows that are coming out, they're like dog
Yeah.
water. But
Yeah.
like back in the day, like I feel like they were better. Like just
Yeah.
because we had
Yeah,
nothing
I
to
saw
When we
really
were
compare
kids,
them to the
yeah.
original.
I saw a
Yeah.
post that was just like, how is a character from a TV show more iconic than 3 movies? Like for Mandalorian and Grogu. There's
That
two
makes
seasons
way
of this
more
show. There are
sense.
3 movies, like Star Wars movies.
2 seasons of a show is more than 3 movies. It always
Okay, but
has been.
like think about like okay, I'm not saying time-wise, I'm saying like iconically. A movie character versus a TV character, like especially Star Wars.
I
Like
don't
And
know.
how
I
the
feel like
list of
I don't
TV
think that's a
Rey,
really
character
Kylo
comparison to
Ren,
make. That's
BB-8,
really
like
anything.
character
Finn.
builds more in TV shows than in a movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, they definitely. No, that's like
Okay, but
definitive.
also like character
Yeah.
recognition.
I don't
No?
know. I don't think there's much there because people have been saying the same thing. They're like, how is it that Ahsoka has better development than Rey or whatever? Well, Ahsoka
I'm not talking about
10
development, I'm
seasons.
just talking about like brand recognition.
Well, I mean, also Disney Plus is a huge platform, and The Mandalorian is the face of Disney Plus. It was the day one
Yeah,
release
so
when Disney Plus came out. So I think it just
Yeah.
depends on how popular Disney Plus is, and just the way we are in the
that's fair.
world with streaming services and
Yeah.
stuff. Because everyone's seen that show. Um, yeah, I think it's like more like that than anything. But yeah, my opinions didn't change all that much on anything. It stayed pretty much the
I
same.
appreciated The Rise of Skywalker. I forgot that I really liked that movie, and that's kind of
honestly, I
controversial
did.
since a lot of people like don't really like it. But
Watch it. I
yeah,
don't know. Like I think, like rewatching that. I still think a lot of the things I say, so I don't know, like it is very fast paced. There's a lot that goes on. It's just kind of like a lot of action, but at the same time, honestly, like that was like one of the most fun movies I had watched.
yeah,
Or at least
that's
one of the movies I had the most fun watching with you guys out of that entire
that's what I'm really
train of movies that we
Yeah.
watched. So I did
yeah.
very much so enjoy that a
It's
lot more
just
than I
like
remembered.
I don't know. It has like a good mix of like everything in my opinion. Like it has, I like the storyline of it that like Ben Solo comes back. I like the like visuals, effects in
The
the
visuals were
movie, and like
amazing.
it also like has like the sentimental with like Han, like and Ben, and you know, it's just it has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I do love that Han Ben scene. I think that's like peak, like Star Wars in general. It's one of my favorite scenes. I love that scene. But yeah, we'll be moving on to The Hobbit soon. That's gonna take a long time. It's less movies.
You
One
know,
of my
I feel
friends
like it'll
here have
be.
been talking about that recently,
What are you
and
talking
I'm
about?
very excited.
I feel like
I
it'll
am I am
be.
excited.
No, you guys should be excited because also you haven't seen The Hobbit. Both of you haven't seen it, so it's kind
No.
of like different to watch
Oh, you
a
haven't
new
seen The Hobbit
movie.
either?
I haven't seen I've seen
I
Lord of the
have.
Rings. I've seen the first
Okay.
Hobbit movie and I've seen parts of the other two. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen parts of everything, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna be watching them and be like, oh my god, like I know what's about to happen, or oh my god, I remember this. But overall, I
Yeah.
don't know like anything, so I'm really excited to kind of like experience like
uh,
a whole new trilogy of something for like from the first time. Also in the way that not everyone else experienced it, like in this
Yeah.
chronological way. Instead, I think it's gonna be really fun to do it that way. And on top of that, I don't know how it's been getting brought up, but three separate people in my life, like in college here, have recently just brought up the fact that the Hobbit movies are on HBO. Hobbit and Lord of the Rings are on HBO Max. They're great fucking movies, and they are going to rewatch all of them.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. It's
wow.
a sign. It's a sign
yeah,
from
it is a sign. It is like I gave my
Middle
friend.
Earth calling to you.
I'm letting my friend use the chef account on my HBO account because he like didn't have HBO. He wanted to watch Game of Thrones. He's
My
like, I didn't know.
account? What the?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got
How
your own
dare
username
you?
now, so.
How
So,
dare you?
and basically he's like, I didn't know that like all the Hobbit and Lord of the Ring movies were on here. They're so
Yeah.
fucking good. Like I'm about to rewatch all of these. And I'm like, no way, you just said that, bro. Like, no way, you just said that. Like,
That's what I'm saying, man. Listen. You're gonna. Man, we're building it up too much. You're not
Yeah.
gonna like it. You're not going to like it.
don't worry, I will forever be a Lord of the Rings hater.
We
So
shall
have you
see.
played any more Battlefront 2 or no? The campaign.
I finished the campaign. Yeah,
Oh really? Did you like it?
I did like it. I didn't really like the last mission with Kylo. That was just.
Oh, you didn't like being
I don't
Kylo?
know.
That's like
You
what
didn't
you
like Tony
I
wanted.
their
mean,
dad?
I no, I wanted to use more lightsabers, but I didn't like the mission itself. Just didn't feel like it was just like I don't know.
Well, I guess it wasn't
I
really a
don't know, annoying.
challenge. You were kind of just like walking around. I
Yeah.
feel like, from
And
what I
then
remember.
what else? I feel like it was too short of a campaign.
Yeah, it was a pretty mid campaign, and they did pull back on the one big selling point, which is that you're going to see the perspective of the Empire, and they
Yeah.
just like were like,
I
nah,
didn't.
it's
Yeah,
Rebel.
that was a bit upsetting for me.
Yeah.
That's why I really liked the first couple of missions, and then it was just like I'm not against the idea of like them maybe becoming good guys, but it just like so quickly was like, oh
Yeah.
no, psych, we're gonna be like this, and
I
it's like,
I
why?
did like the Battle of Jakku, just because I feel like the battle was cool. It didn't really matter what side I was on, like the whole landing
Yeah.
on the Star Destroyer and like running around stuff. I think
That
that's
was
cool.
cool.
But
Was the guy who played Hask later, like in the cutscene after, or like near the
I don't
Kylo
know
scene, was that
actually.
the guy who plays in Green Arrow as
yeah,
the
and it's the
yeah?
original one too. Like in the past, it was also him. Like they
Oh,
just like
really? It was
de-aged
him?
his face. Yeah, yeah,
I
same
did
dude.
not realize that.
The
I
girl was
thought it was
in.
him.
Iden was in Green Arrow too. She was or Arrow. She was like his girlfriend at one
Yeah,
point.
Arrow.
I think
Really?
she was like a cop or something. I forget the exacts, but yeah, she was there.
I don't remember her, but I believe your factual knowledge.
You know, she got like shot. I think at one point. I don't know. All right.
Hmm.
Does anyone else got anything to say? Is that everything?
Mm-mm. I'm all good.
And
I'll
that wraps
fall
up our
asleep.
first episode
Hey,
of our
outro.
new podcast. Leave a like or a rating down below, and
Whichever
we'll
this
see you
thing is
next time.
posted on could be posted on anything. Who knows?
This will
Could
be
be
posted
posted
on
on
many
anything.
things. There will
Yeah.
You won't be seeing it on whatever platform you are seeing it, so whatever your options are, you know.
Yeah. Leave whatever interaction that is possible.
whatever, yeah, exactly. Whatever you can do to make the algorithm like this video and us more, please do it.
Because if you're at the
Hope
point where
you
you're
enjoyed
hearing
And
it.
this,
if
then
you
that means
guys
you've
have
stayed.
Once
yeah,
again,
if you
star underscore
stayed, thank
Battlefront
you,
underscore
thank you.
Wars on TikTok. Make sure you hit it up, like, follow.
Damn it.
And give
Why
us
can't you
any
just?
input.
Why can't you be
On
supportive of
how?
me, Liam?
All right, peace.
Bye.